start with a short prayer. So we continue with the qualities of the ideal devotee. 14.
Santushtas satatam yogi.
Santushtas satatam yogi.
Yatatma drida nishchayah.
Yatatma drida nishchayah.
Mayyarpitamano buddhihi.
Mayyarpitamano buddhihi.
Yo madbhaktas same priyah.
Yo madbhaktas same priyah. Santushtas satatam yogi. Yatatma drida nishchayah. Mayyarpitamano buddhihi. Yo madbhaktas same priyah.
So Lord Krishna continues and he said, Saha madbhaktaha me priyaha, means this devotee is very dear to me. Which one? Yaha santushtaha. Santushtaha satatam, one who is ever content. Yogi, one who is a practitioner, one who practices what the knowledge is. Yatatma, one who is self-controlled. Drida nishchayaha, one who is firm in their knowledge. Mayyarpitaha mano buddhihi, one who has offered their mind and intellect in me. This devotee is dear to me. Santushta satatam. Santushta satatam means they're ever content in the self. They're ever reveling in the self, in God. So their contentment is not like our contentment, that if we get a new house, I'll be happy. If my kids get married and move out, I'll be so happy. If my boss gives me a raise, I'll be happy. Our happiness is conditional upon what we get. Because it's if this happens, then. If that happens, then. If this happens, then. But they are santushta satatam in what way? They are ever reveling in joy. It's disregard, it doesn't matter. If it happens, it doesn't happen, whatever happens, they are ever reveling in the highest. So they become yogi. Yogi means one who is practicing, one who is connected to the knowledge. Yoga comes from the root word yuj. Yuj means to unite. So they are ever content, and they're ever connected to the knowledge. Because they are ever connected to the knowledge, they are content. Because if you think about this, when does sorrow come? Sorrow comes when there's a disconnect with knowledge. When I forget what was written in the Bhagavad Gita or what I heard, sorrow. When I forget the name of Bhagavan, sorrow. When I forget about all of these qualities that I'm learning, sorrow. Sorrow comes when there's a disconnect. When there's disconnect, there's discontent. It's a downhill. But when I'm connected to the higher, whenever I'm connected to knowledge, then guess what? I will be content. If you and I look into our lives, when were we the most content? Sleeping, right? Definitely sleeping. Or childhood, because we were carefree. But in our adult stages, when were we the most content? When we knew what we had to do and we did it. Why? Because we were connected to knowledge. We knew that at this point in time, this is what I need to do, and I'm going to do it, and I'm at peace. But whenever we forgot or we were disconnected from this, discontent, we're unsure, we're running here, we're running there, we don't know what to do, we don't know how to lead our lives. So they are santushta satatam because they are yogi, they're ever connected to the knowledge. And with us, sometimes we're connected and disconnected, connected and disconnected. But with them, they're connected in such a way that there's never a disconnect. There's no possibility for a disconnect. That's a true bhakta. With us, there is some possibility. And when we know that we are getting disconnected, we have to know what that disconnect is so that we can get back connected. So, santushta satatam yogi. Yatatma, one who is self-controlled. This we studied in Tattva Bodha, Shamadama Ityadi. Right? Self-controlled means somebody who has mastered their senses and who has to a great extent mastered their mind. Without this kind of discipline, we cannot expect to lead such a high quality life, or this quality of life which is so divine. We studied mastery of senses. We studied mastery of mind. I'll just remind you. What mastery of senses really means is, it's hard to say, don't see this, don't hear this, don't smell this, don't taste this. It's hard. What it really means to say is fix all of our senses in a higher altar so that they don't get distracted by anything else. So when my eyes, ears, and taste and touch, when everything's fixed on something so high, like a really, really high goal, then I'm not going to have time to sit there and watch Netflix or, or eat like 5 times a day and eat so much or go here or go there. There's no time to do all of those things which are unnecessary because my senses are so involved in the necessary. They're so soaked in what's essential that there is no time to do non-essential. That's actually what we need to do. Instead of saying don't see, don't hear, just put everything on something that's really essential. It can be God, it can be the pursuit of knowledge, it can be a very high goal. And I always give you this example that those people who are pursuing the freedom of our country, they don't have time to say, okay, let me binge watch and let me do this and let me go shopping and let me shop for so many hours. They don't have time to do that because their goal is so high, it won't allow them to be indisciplined. So what does this mean? If I am being indisciplined, guess what? My goal is very low. My goal is very low, so I'm having time to be indisciplined. But if my goal is very high, there is no time to be indisciplined. Yatatma, one becomes naturally. So I become as high, the higher my goal is, the more discipline there is in my life. The lower my goal is, the less discipline there is in my life. So you and I have to look, what is our goal? Is it high enough? That's the real question to ask. Yatatma. Drida nishchaya means one who is firm in the goal. In the goal means in God, in the pursuit of truth, in bringing themselves up to the full potential. One who is firm in that is called Drida Nishchaya. Firmness means that there's going to be firmness in 3 levels. One is to start to walk the path. One has to be firm that this is what they want to do. But while we're walking the path also, there's so many distractions. There's so many interruptions. There's so many people coming here, people coming there. There's so many temptations. Drida Nishchaya is that quality which keeps us back on the path and helps us to steer away from all of that. That no matter what's going to happen, I'm going to keep going. In our Upanishads, it says, Charai Veti, Charai Veti. Means no matter what happens, just keep walking. Keep walking and stay steady. Sometimes when we get like a big challenge, we get bowled over and we stop. We stop and we freeze and we panic and we worry and we don't know what to do. And Drida Nishchaya means get back up there. Life is not going to be so smooth. We've seen it. It's going to be hard. But Drida Nishchaya is that quality to keep getting back there. Keep getting back there. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. I've listened to Vedanta so many times. Still I can't control my senses. Still I can't control my mind. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. Keep getting back there and be firm with it. Because only one who is firm will reach the goal. But one who is not firm will never make it. So yatatma drida nishchaya. Mayi arpita mano buddhi means we've seen this already. Offering my mind and my intellect to God. This devotee is very priya, is very dear to me. Lord Krishna says. Continuing.
Yasmanno dvijate lokaha.
Yasmanno dvijate lokaha.
Lokanno dvijate jayaha.
Lokanno dvijate jayaha.
Harsha marsha bhayo dvegaihi.
Harsha marsha bhayo dvegaihi.
Me priyaha.
Mukto yassa me priyaha. Yasmanno dvijate lokaha. Lokanno dvijate jayaha. Harsha marsha bhayo dvegaihi. Mukto yassa me priyaha.
Cha and Same Priyaha. This bhakta is very dear to me. Who yaha yasmat na udvijate lokaha means from whom the world is not agitated. But at the same time, lokat na udvijate chayaha, the one who is not disturbed by the world. So from whom the world is not disturbed and who is not disturbed by the world. And who is muktaha, who is free from harsha. Harsha means elation. Amarsha, amarsha means this kind of intolerance. Bhaya, fear. Udvega, disturbance. This bhakta is dear to me. So, from whom the world doesn't get disturbed. What does this mean? This means that somebody who lives simply, somebody who has a grand vision, actually everything we think, we see, we taste, we do, has an effect on so many people. We don't realize it. But one tweet can reach out to 1 million people in 1 minute, not even 1 minute, right? Everything we do affects so many people. Everything we say affects so many people. So the one who is living simply and so aware that what I do can affect many. How we live, how we eat. So when we waste food, how many people it affects? So many people are hungry, we are overeating so much, and then we're wasting, and what that leads, what that does for the environment. How much electricity we waste, how much gasoline we waste because we don't want to carpool with this person, we want to drive our own car, right? We're not cognizant about the things that we do. A true bhakta is one who's aware that everything has an effect. So they don't want to create any disturbance whatsoever. And disturbance can also come at the level where, people will just disturb to get attention. Sometimes people will just feel like they should say something because they want attention. Or they should wear some diamond bling ring because they want attention. Or they should, make sure that everybody's looking and then drive their car up. So, or my favorite is they'll put loud music in the car so that the whole street can hear it, right? Because they're screaming for attention. They want to be noticed. But this bhakta doesn't even want to be noticed. The true bhaktas, they don't want people to know. They just go about their lives. They're so regular, they're so normal, and they do what they have to do. The least disturbance they want to cause to anybody, if at all. So a bhakta is one who lives life like this. Why should we unnecessarily disturb people? Don't say, I'm making your sadhana stronger by disturbing you. No. Right? And at the same time, this bhakta doesn't get disturbed by the world. So one who the world is not disturbed by, but who doesn't get disturbed by the world. And you would wonder, why is this bhakta not disturbed by the world? Because at a deeper level, it's Bhagavan's Leela. We studied this before. Truly speaking, we are the screen, and everything is just a movie. It's just a movie playing. It's Bhagavan's Leela. So what is their reason for us to get disturbed? Today, it happens to be horror movie in the house. Okay, horror movie. Tomorrow, it happens to be comedy in the house. Just comedy. And the day after, it happens to be drama in the house. Right? And everyone's homes, we all go through this. Nobody's spared. Everyone goes through it. And that's just the nature of life. We can't change it. So sometimes it's action, drama, comedy, horror, whatever it is, but it's going to go up and down, and it's going to play, and it's going to play. And if I know that I am the screen where everything is playing, then what's going to disturb us? We only get disturbed. When do we get disturbed in a movie? We start to identify with that character, and I want to punch that guy. Why aren't they punching that guy yet, Or why aren't they finding that treasure yet? How much wrong ways are they going to go? Why are they finding, and why did she marry him? She should have married the other guy. We get so disturbed because we get so involved in the movie, right? It's so involved in the movie, but it's just a movie. So when we get so involved involved in it, then of course we're going to get so disturbed by it. I'm not saying don't get involved with life. We can get involved as much as we need to, and then withdraw and know that this is part and parcel of the play. It will happen. Have we ever seen life just go like that with no waves? It doesn't happen. So they know that they are that changeless screen amidst the changing movie. And they never lose sight of that. And they are mukta. They are free from harsha, amarsha. Harsha means elation. Amarsha means kind of sorrow, kind of an intolerance. Bhaya, fear. And udvega, disturbance. So let's say if we get something, we become so elated. Like, yay, I want something, I got something. And if we lose something, amarsha, I lost it. And then if we got something, bhaya, I might lose it. Right? It never ends. So if we're going to be elated in joy, we are going to be also drowning in sorrow. In fact, the more we feel joy and we get excited by joy, the more we're going to feel sorrow. For sure. So this bhakti is mukta, because there will be times there will be up, there will be times it will go down. Life is not up all the way, it will go down. And then when it goes down, it will go up. So then why am I unnecessarily being like that? Like blood pressure is going to go high, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, right? So they are free from all of these things and free from fear, because they know that everything gained will be lost. Fear comes when I gain something and I feel like it's gonna go, it's gonna go, it's gonna go. When is it gonna go? But what did we learn? Nirmama, nothing is mine. So it's gonna go. Fine, so let it go. So they're free from these emotions, these emotional outbursts. And udvega. Udvega also means agitation, disturbance. They're free from it. Again, because they feel and they know that it's all happening in this movie and they're just a screen. Another way to look at this is they have that kind of immunity. They have this immunity that when things happen, I know how to deal with it. So if I go to the airport and my flight gets delayed, what happens? Okay, open, read the Bhagavad Gita, done! Where is your harsha, amarsha? It's not there. Okay, you get on the airplane and then there's a crying child in front of you. Okay, put on your headphones and watch a movie. Okay, done. So where's your harsha, amarsha? Okay, you're on the airplane and you're so hungry, you forgot to bring food. And then, but the food is like all these kinds of things you can't eat. Okay, time to do tapasya. So you do tapas, don't eat, you fast and let your hunger cells kill all the other negative cells. And everything is going on in your stomach. There you go. So then where is the room for harsha, amarsha? We just know how to deal with life. That's all. Okay, you're coming here, but it's super traffic. What do we do? Okay, put on a nice podcast and listen and sing and That's just it. That's all it really takes. But because we don't know how to deal with life, we go up and down with it. But imagine if for everything we knew how to respond properly. Our life wouldn't be so hard to live, right? So that's why this bhakti is muktaha from it. There was a story of this saint. He was walking this way, and his hair kept going all over in front of him. And then he said, oh, that's too bad. So he walked the other way, and his hair went the other way. And he said, I'll just go the other way. It's okay. Means they're so free, They're just so free. They can just pick up and do whatever they want. Okay, it doesn't work. Go the other way. That's it. Why get so stuck in it? Why complain that this is this? Why is the air blowing here? Just, right? If it's so cold outside, just put on a coat. I mean, what's the big deal? Right? But we forget to do these simple things, and we get caught up in these experiences. So this Bhakta, Bhagavan says, is dear to me. Continuing.
अनपेक्षशुचिर्दक्षः
अनपेक्षशुचिर्दक्षः
उदासीनो गतव्यथः
उदासीनो गतव्यथः
सर्वारम्भपरित्यागी
सर्वारम्भपरित्यागी
यो मद्भक्तः स मे प्रियः
यो मद्भक्तः स मे प्रियः अनपेक्षशुचिर्दक्षः उदासीनो गतव्यथः सर्वारम्भपरित्यागी यो मद्भक्तः स मे प्रियः.
Anapekshaha. Anapekshaha means somebody who's independent. Shuchihi, someone who's pure. Dakshaha, someone who's very alert. Udasinaha, somebody who's sitting above. Utasina. Gatavyataha, one from whom troubles have gone. Sarva arambha parityagi, renouncing all these commencements, all these undertakings. Yaha, this person, sahamad bhakta me priyaha, this devotee is very, very dear to me. This bhakta is very, very dear to me. Anapekshaha. Anapekshaha, independent, means they're not depending on someone who's dependent on something else. So, I'm sure you know the story of this beggar who went to meet the king, right? Because he said he needs some money and he went to meet the king. And then when he went to meet the king, what did he see? He saw the king was praying to God for money. The king was begging. And so the beggar said, oh, okay, well, I don't think I should stay here anymore. So the beggar started to walk out. And after the king's prayers, the king went to the beggar and said, where are you going? You needed something. He said, well, I thought I can beg from you, but you're begging from somebody else, you know? So we become dependent on that which is depending on something else. We're dependent on social security, but how secure is that? Right? We're dependent on our family, but our family is also dependent on somebody else. We call somebody, we call a phone number, and we say, you know what? Can you please fix something happened to this bank account? Okay, so you're dependent on them. But then what will they say? Oh, my server is down. I can't help you. They're also dependent on some techie person. Then that technology person is also dependent on whoever, that electricity company, Con Edison or whoever. Then that person is also dependent on some person. So we keep on depending on people who are dependent. Anapekshaha means the only depending we should do is to Bhagavan, because Bhagavan is the one who can make us independent. That's how we become independent. By depending on someone who can make us independent, we become independent. So Anapeksha is this. We become truly, truly independent. And being truly independent means that I'm not searching for my security from anybody or anything or any experience out there, but I truly know it's only Bhagavan who's my refuge. And I'm independent of everything else. Independent of everything else that's dependent on somebody. This is Anapeksha. Shuchihi. Shuchihi means pure. But what does purity mean? Purity means I'm able to see impurity in myself. That's purity. When we clean a room, what happens is first we clean the room and all the papers go. And then after you clean all the papers, then you see these little dust particles. Then you start cleaning them also. And then after that, you feel like the room is pure, it's clean. And in fact, sometimes when we clean our outside, our insides feel like clean, right? We feel like we actually got cleaned. Shuchihi means actual inside cleaning. That there is some dirt in me. There is some negativity in me. And I know it because I'm reflecting upon it. I'm aware about it. And I'm seeing it in me. So now let me start to clear that out. Let me start to weed out that dirt and start to change those qualities. By being aware of it, it's already a first step because we won't be able to stay with our negative qualities. It's like bad body odor. Once if someone has bad body odor, they can't stay with it anymore. They have to clean themselves. So when we have a bad stench or bad stink, and we start to say, okay, I'm going to get rid of it, that's called purity. I can see the impurity in me, and I want to get rid of it. And I make an effort to get rid of it. Shuchihi. Dakshaha. Dakshaha means one who is alert. One who is ever alert and ever ready. What does this mean? Daksha means somebody who can foresee that things are going to happen. There are some people who, they make it happen. They make it happen. And there are some people that say, what happened? It means things are already coming down, but they don't even know. They're like, what happened? Something happened? I don't even know. That is really not Daksha. Daksha means there are some people who can predict, you know what? We're having this event, this may happen, what do we do? You know what? We're having this get together, this may happen, what do we do? We're starting this project at work, this may happen, what do we do? So someone who has that foresight to predict that certain things may happen and who's prepared for it is called Daksha. They're alert and they're ever skillful. Udasina. Udasina means somebody who's sitting above. Above means that they're not so troubled by what's all these little nuances of life. They're not troubled by this, people saying this, people not saying this, people doing this, people not doing this. They're not so troubled by it because their mind is sitting higher. Udasina means when your mind is sitting higher or sitting with God, where do we have the time to say, this person didn't call me and wished me happy Diwali? I mean, who has the time to think about that? This person, didn't greet me on my birthday. This person didn't invite me to this party. I mean, the mind can only become petty if we're sitting low. But if we're sitting high, if we're sitting in God, if we're sitting in something divine, do we even have time for all of that? It doesn't even matter to us. They gave me this gift. I gave them such a nice gift, but they gave me this gift. There's no time to think like that because your mind is in God. So all this pettiness goes away. So if you and I are being petty about silly things like this, then that means that we're sitting low. We're not sitting high. Uttasina becomes Udasina. So where are we sitting?